Plenty of time. Please don't open my door. Okay. Okay, Republican National Committee, Washington, D.C. Voter Identification Division. Do not forward personal record information. Republican National Committee. Ronna McDaniel, Chairwoman. Congressional District 3rd, voter ID, party affiliation unconfirmed. Ronna McDaniel, Chairwoman. Dear Mr. Gallier, are the Republican National Committee's voter records right? Are the Republican National Committee voter records right? Are you a fellow Republican? Would you please take a moment to check the enclosed party affiliation voter card and return it to the RNC headquarters in Washington, D.C. today? With so much on the line for the future of our nation in the critical midterm elections, especially control of the U.S. Senate and the U.S. House of Representatives, and winning governmentship across the country, it is crucial that we can contact individuals like you to ensure that our voter records are up to date and accurate so we can get our voters to polls and protect the integrity of the elections this November. Right now, our records have you identified as a Republican living in Battle Creek, Michigan. Is this correct? Generally, can we count on your vote to support the Republican candidates? Please take a moment to review your party affiliation voter card and verify the information on it. Directly mark on your card any corrections needed and indicate in the space provided that the information is correct. Then return it by March 21st so we can have our updated voter data ready to be delivered to our grassroots organizers in Battle Creek. Mr. Gallier, I don't mean to pressure you, but the 2022 elections are already well underway. And the results of this project will have a direct impact on whether we Republicans can win at the polls and stop Joe Biden's destructive big government socialist agenda for America. As the chairwoman of the RNC, I have no higher priority than the success of this party-building project, especially with the Democrats' shameless attempts to fix our elections laws to their advantage by putting into question the accuracy of the voter registration rolls, requiring states to automatically register all individuals as opposed to citizens, and mailing them ballots permitting same-day registration and allowing individuals to vote without any form of identification, all of which ultimately undermines the fairness and integrity of our elections. We can't let this happen. Here at the RNC, we are working 24/7 to cut through the Democrats' propaganda machine and get the truth out about their schemes to change our election laws so we can continue to fulfill their plans to turn our nation to the cradle to the grave socialist country. We must be able to battle back by carrying out critical process of updating and confirming our voter records and reaching out to identify, register, and lock in new Republican voters. To make certain that we can fully implement this massive nationwide undertaking, I need you to make a special contribution of $25, $35, $50, $100, $250, $500, $1,000, $5,000, or more today. Our goal is to contact and identify 3 million new Republican voters in the next 30 days. So solidify and strengthen our party to the local level and make sure we have strong grassroots organizations in every congressional district in the country. This border project will be part of the biggest and most expensive grassroots Get Out the Vote program the RNC has ever implemented, and will ultimately determine whether or not we can stop Joe Biden and the Democrats' destructive agenda. Clearly, if we are going to re-elect Republican candidates, we must conquer the Democrats' massive spending and fight for every single voter, district by district, precinct by precinct. To do that, we must solidify and energize our base, get the truth out about our Republican agenda out to all voters, convince major segments of voters, including women, black, Latino, Asian, and young voters, and their greatest chance to realize America's dream is to embrace our Republican philosophy, an opportunity, and individual freedom, and get them back to our slate of Republican candidates all the way down the ballot. With the potential for dozens of extremely close races in the battle for control of the U.S. Senate, U.S. House, we must invest heavily and go all out to strengthen our party in every way possible. As we saw in November governor's race in Virginia, a strong Get Out the Vote program makes all the difference between winning and losing. That is why we must make sure all our ground game is better than the Democrats, and we must fully unite and expand our Republican base and get more Republicans leading voters to the polls to support our candidates. This is truly a must-win election for our party and our nation. Joe Biden's failed leadership, massive spending, and disastrous economic policies have severely damaged our country. It is critical to our nation's future that we do everything in our power to stop him. And the only way we can do that is to win in November. Americans will cast ballots in 34 U.S. Senate races, 435 U.S. House contests, 36 governor races, and hundreds of important state and local races. And the most important battle will be for control of the Congress, where the Republicans' loss will give Joe Biden free reign over our government for 2 more years. That is why this project and your participation in it is so vital. Because we can rally our troops and get out the vote if we do not know who or where our most committed supporters are. So please take a moment to send back your voter card along with the voter tracking form today. This party building project is an essential step in organizing brick by brick, town by town, a nationwide activist grassroots network second to none, pairing the best campaign and election strategies with the new technologies to help us identify and target our message to voters all across the country and get them to vote for our candidates. In the months ahead, our message to the voters will be that they have very clear choice between our Republican agenda and Joe Biden's and the Democrats' budget-busting, freedom-destroying, big government socialist agenda that will forever change our nation. The American people, look, I'm going to finish this up because I ain't got much time. With your support, we can win against Joe Biden and the big government socialist Democrats, continue to build a bright future for all American business and families. Please let me know you are with us. Sincerely, Rhonda McDaniel, Chairwoman, Republican National Committee. P.S. Mr. Goddard, this Get Out and Vote effort will make all the difference between winning and losing. Please stand with us in the must-win fight for our future of our country. Even if you cannot afford to help financially at this time, please return your party affiliation voter card by March 21st.